manufacturer do you think has the most bikes, the most models that are in the top 20 fastest production bikes, quarter mile time ever built?
Do you want to answer that? Because we already talked about it.
No, we haven't. We didn't. I didn't actually. We didn't talk about that.
It's either Ducati or Suzuki.
Wrong and wrong.
Really?
Honda?
Harley?
Well, sorry. So Ducati and Suzuki and Honda are all three. They all three have bikes in the top 20, but the number one manufacturer that has the fastest, well, it has the most bikes in the top 20 is Kawasaki.
Really?
They have 6 bikes that are in the top.
Kawasaki.
Yep, they have 6 bikes that are in the top fastest bikes ever built. Manufacturer do you think has the most?
Did not know that.
Yep. It's Kawasaki with 5, with 6, Ducati with 5, 3 with Suzuki, 3 with BMW, 2 with Yamaha, and 1 with Honda.
Well, I'll be honest. When I think of bikes, I don't think Kawasaki.
Yeah,
You know,
but they got 6 of the fastest quarter mile times in the top 20 bikes.
it's awesome.
And 2 of those bikes, one of them's actually more than 20 years old, and one of them is going to be 20 in 2 years.
So these are older bikes.
2 of them are. 2 of them are 18 plus years old, and the other 4, the oldest out of the rest is, let's see, 2012, 2010, 6.
What up, Trey?
Yeah, 2006 is the next oldest. It's crazy.
All right, we're starting to get viewers in.
Oh my God, what do I do?
Yeah.
I don't know. I need to. That plug-in's right here somewhere, right?
Yeah.
For
My phone.
oh yeah,
It's underneath. What's y'all's take on the whole Iran thing? Like, really?
my take. I can't say on the air.
Why? It's our show. You can say whatever the fuck you want.
I will be viewed differently if I say the things I want to say.
Who cares? Dude,
I do.
Rob, since when do you care what people think about you?
Well, because I don't want to be called things that I'm not really.
I guess. What's your take, Mick?
Okay, when you say the Iran thing, you're talking about us killing what's his face?
Yeah, what's his face?
I mean,
well, is it what's his face or where's his face?
I don't know. Yeah.
Where's the rest of him?
But yeah, man, I don't see why anybody's having an issue with it.
That's like, oh my God, I'm seeing all these memes on Facebook right now about people. They're talking about another draft. Like, are you guys? I can go through.
Well, first of all, this is out of left field. I don't know why people are talking about draft.
Well, I can literally scroll in my personal Facebook, and I don't have that many friends, like less than 500, I guarantee you. And I could pick 100 guys and women instantly of people that would defend this country without doubt.
Well, I think that's part of being American, man.
I mean, there's 3 right here.
Yeah,
Veronica and I already had that conversation last night. I was like, if I were to get a call, hey, you're going to come back to the Marine Corps, I'd be like, all right.
Yeah,
and that's the part about being American. I mean, I went to go into the military. I wanted to be in the military. I couldn't because of my knee. But if it's called upon where I need to go fight for our freedoms, so somebody doesn't come over here and blow the hell out of my country, hell yeah, I'm gonna go.
I mean, dude, he was the man behind the deaths of
Benghazi,
hundreds and hundreds of our service members.
Well, let's have a breakdown on
I mean,
this. Okay, first off, we almost have we have our where they stormed the embassy, right?
Right.
Well, they're attacking the embassy, Trump calls in troops to protect the embassy, which everybody else was talking about, did exactly the opposite of what Obama did.
Oh, yeah.
Obama sent him.
Okay.
How many? Wasn't it like $1 billion of U.S. taxpayers like money?
So right there, you have that. Then you hear, okay, you screw with us now. We're going to shoot some missiles at you. Killed their general that apparently orchestrated it and was in the process of orchestrating more attacks, and killed God knows how many Americans and other people before this.
Right.
I mean, this wasn't a Boy Scout by any means. So we get rid of him, and then the next thing I hear is World War III. We're gonna start a draft. I'm like, we just did something awesome.
Right. Well, and a lot of people don't realize, like, we already have troops there. The troops are already in Iraq. That war, the war on, what is it? You covered in the veterans episode, Rod. It's Iraqi freedom, correct?
Yeah.
They're still there. That war has never ended. And for these Iranian leaders to attack the U.S. embassy, like, come on, dude. Like, you were asking for the attention. You were asking, you're pretty much, a lot of these people are testing Trump. I mean, that's how I view it. Like, they are testing Trump and America pretty much.
like a friend of mine said, I mean, you do terrorist things, you win terrorist prizes.
Yeah.
So, you live by the sword, you die by the sword. I mean, you can't.
I mean, we execute people in this country for less.
We really do. And like I don't know how true this is, because I didn't really get into it too much, but he was one of the people behind Benghazi, right? He orchestrated the attacks in Benghazi. Okay, so Obama and Clinton are just gonna leave our people there. How many people died, Rob? I know you know.
5.
5. Okay, so
5. No, it was 4.
4.
3 including a
ambassador.
3 and
Ambassador.
1 ambassador.
Yeah.
Right. Okay, so we're just gonna leave our fucking people there to get brutally mutilated.
Well, first off, let's break that down too. We say 5 died plus the ambassador.
4.
4 plus the ambassador.
No, 4 with the ambassador.
But he wasn't just killed, he was tortured.
Right.
Yeah.
So I mean, is that we're supposed to be the leader in pretty much, and I despise that, but we're supposed to be the world leader pretty much. So the people that we choose to be leaders and representatives of America, we're just going to leave them over there to suffer, and if something like that happens? No, you have to freaking react, man.
Yeah.
If they do that shit again, blow up the next one. Like somebody said, Trump's doing such a good job. He's even creating jobs in Iran. Oh, wow. There's no more freaking, what is he, a general or douchebag?
He was a general. And he had something to do with like their special forces or something like that.
Well, their special forces can go and look for the rest of his body because he blew up.
But yeah, that was
that's
was
actually,
man.
Josh, Rose's cousin said they considered that to be collateral damage, basically, when they left those 4 people die in Benghazi. Man, that's not fucking collateral damage. That's not like a building blowing up. That's a life.
Yeah, that was a target. That was not collateral damage. Is something that happens when you're attacking a target and something else happens.
Indirectly, yeah.
Yeah.
That was an intended target.
One of the Facebook groups I'm in, for all the people that feel the way that we feel, the QE guys feel, conservatives only. It's a closed Facebook group. Some troll went in there today and was like, "Oh, you conservatives are all about killing a man, but you won't kill fetuses." And I'm like, I went off. I'm like, dude, this is a guy that is a known terrorist, done terrorist fucking actions, broke the law. Yeah, I'm all about killing him.
Well, you're okay. Hold on.
All that dude is doing is he's looking for attention.
Yeah,
that guy cannot possibly feel that way, and he's just out there trying to fucking.
Dude, you would be surprised how many.
I would be surprised, but like the majority of people are just out there trying to dick with somebody, especially on Facebook. Imagine it was probably a sock puppet account. The guy had like a fucking sunrise as his face, as his picture or some shit. Like, dude, fuck that guy.
I mean, you can't go off what people say. People say some dumb stuff on
The-
Facebook. Everybody has a PhD in
Remember,
dumbassery.
you see what Rose McGowan did?
Yes, that was an embarrassment to all
So
Americans.
I sent her a tweet on Twitter, like
From-
at Rose McGowan.
Well,
like,
before
from-
you go into that, are we talking about the woman who apologized
Yeah,
Yes. Hold on.
on behalf of all Americans?
No,
Yeah.
did you send this tweet from your personal Twitter or
from my
from?
personal.
Oh,
Twitter.
you should have sent it from the QE guys. We'd have fucking loved that.
I sent it from my personal Twitter.
Hey, you're
And
in
it was-
charge of Twitter. Do that.
It was pretty much the same.
Sure,
thing.
I'll figure it out.
It was pretty much the same thing that I said on Facebook. I was like, "Hey, Rose, no one gives a shit about your political opinion. You probably I was like, you probably belong in a damn nut house."
When was the last time Rose McGowan was relevant?
When's the last time I heard her name?
1998, maybe 2001.
I mean, she did the whole charm thing, and I remember she got a lot of publicity for dating Marilyn Manson. But who the fuck is Rose McGowan?
Just the fact that she dated Marilyn Manson means she used to be in a fucking loony bin.
Man, come on.
We're all stars
I
now.
know Marilyn Manson. We're like, how the hell did I get brought into this?
In the dope show.
Speaking of Manson, have you guys heard his cover of the Nine Inch Nails and Johnny Cash cover "Hurt"?
No,
It's-
I haven't.
It's really good. I enjoyed it.
Empty.
Your whiskey is empty.
I have to resort to other things.
I'm just drinking my PJ's.
Look, the camera's right here.
PJ's
bro.
coffee.
Coffee.
Here we go. PJ's coffee.
Yeah, that's the sound coffee makes now.
Rob's coffee.
What else is going on
Disclaimer: we are not alcoholics.
today? I am.
Just on Saturdays.
We only drink when we're doing this.
For those of you that personally know me, this day every year, I'm an alcoholic.
Oh
we'll,
man.
we'll leave it at that
Yes,
because there's some that don't personally know you.
exactly.
If you would like to personally know Sean, hit him up on Facebook.
At www.
.theqeguys.com.
No, you can't say that. We don't have an actual website yet.
Oh well, fuck. Sorry.
We have
We need to get on that.
At facebook.com/theqb guys.
Something like
Question
that.
everything guys.
I believe so.
You know the actual URL by heart, don't you?
me. Yeah. Well, I mean, if they're viewing us live, they really know where it's at.
Yeah.
It's www.facebook.com/the QE guys.
Yeah, that was right. See, fuck, shit.
Close enough.
So if this kicks off and I don't even know how World War III is going to start from this.
It's
I,
not.
I,
This
I'm
is
trying to
like-
wrap my brain
Iran is
around that.
Literally obscure enough to where nobody gives a shit.
But I mean, basically, the only way I think it could happen is if Iran had some big friends
They don't.
who decided to be on their side. I don't know. How's Iran and Russia?
So here's how World War III can actually start by this particular chain of events, right? So do you remember the Iran nuclear deal, right?
Mhm.
Yes.
That we backed out of.
Right. Well, they had plenty of time to do a lot of research and a lot of refining of uranium,
hmm
right? And refined uranium is the key ingredient to make nuclear warheads.
Right.
So, if you have enough time and you're determined to do something, I mean, who knows how many nuclear warheads Iran was capable of building
In that time
during
frame.
the
Right.
time frame that Obama was throwing money at them like they were freaking,
Oh, dude.
like
just-
they had dirt on him or something.
Obama,
so
he
angry.
sent like $1 million US dollars
I had a
cash.
zero to that.
Yeah.
$1 billion.
Yeah.
He sent more than $1 billion.
Yeah, dude. He was there.
He's their homeboy, dude.
Yeah, man.
Fuck that guy.
And,
Anyway,
and he was
so,
our president, bro.
Anyway, the only World War III could possibly kick off by Iran trying to like flaunt nuclear power in front of us and like that
I can't even take that statement
I know
seriously.
you can't
Like,
take it seriously, but that's a real possibility because those people are fucking like if you think Kim Jong-un is a fucking retard, like those guys are not stupid, but they don't have any kind of sense.
It seems like they would be less hesitant
well, no,
Yeah,
like,
to
okay,
do it.
They already want us dead anyway.
Kim Jong Un, like he hates America to an extent. He doesn't
He doesn't
it's
hate
not
the world.
yeah he's not it's not stupidity hate. Like Muslims legit, well, radical Muslims legit hate Americans, and they hate, well, not just Americans, the West. They're that stupid. They are really that stupid. You're right. I
Well,
guess.
I mean, they I don't know. They're the only ones that may disregard the fact that they have to live on this planet after they nuke everybody.
Yeah, I think the IQ points in that area of the world.
That's why I play so much Fallout, so that whenever it does fucking happen, I am going to be the perfect wastelander.
That's right. You're gonna know how to craft all kind of stuff.
Well, I already do, but
What's
in the
up, Aaron motherfucking Jackson, dude? I haven't seen you in forever.
surviving in the wasteland is
Good old Aaron, buddy.
Aaron Jackson just fucking popped on, man. What is up, dude?
Oh,
Wow. Talk about a blast from the past. I haven't seen him since Rose's marriage, wedding. Yeah.
just trying to think on this World War III though.
Like,
who
would you legit go fight if like some shit really did pop off?
It would be the
Well,
world.
yeah,
it would be
I
the
mean,
world
I
versus
would.
the Middle East,
Yeah.
pretty much.
I don't see that lasting a long time.
It would be in a world like it. Pretty much, you'd have to turn Iran
In the
like
glass.
the whole.
Oh,
glass
yeah.
parking lot, which is gonna.
Okay, hold on.
That's gonna lead to nuclear war.
we have a
It's
liberal, we have a feminist and a liberal on watching us, and she made a comment.
sweet.
Amber, oh, you know Amber. She came over here. You met her.
Did I?
Mhm.
Was I drunk?
Yeah.
It was a Saturday, remember?
Yeah. She said, we nuked first, like started this. Yeah, we did nuke Japan first to end the fucking war. And what happened?
I love that meme. We blew up like 3 boats and then unleashed the sun twice. We absolutely must win.
I just want to say this. If you're going to be dumb, you got to be tough.
And I remember it was an uncle of mine. He was they went to Germany, and they were touring Germany and everything, and they were in the buses riding the streets, and the tour guide was, they had like these big cathedral churches, and he was pointing at one of them, and he kept on making like anti-American remarks kind of all through the thing,
Right.
and it was kind of like all leading back to World War II. And one of the things he said was they were going by one of these buildings, and he's like, "Yep." He goes, "There's this place, and you can still see bullet holes from World War II, where Americans pretty much rubbled all of our architecture and buildings and destroyed all of our towns and everything." And I remember my uncle, he told the guy, he goes, "You think that's something? You should see what we did to Japan."
Look at what's left of that city. Well, actually, Nagasaki and Hiroshima both kind of recovered pretty brilliantly.
Yeah.
Screw you, Amber. She said Sean sucks at beer pong, by the way. Bad aim. Yeah, it's kind of hard to aim when you're like,
That's not an excuse.
Shut up, Robert.
Yeah. You gotta be on your game in beer pong, man.
Alcohol is aiming juice.
So other than this Iranian thing, like what's going on? Let's talk a little politics, man. Like election year. So that means work's gonna slow down for some people.
I saw I can't remember the dude that posted it, but it was 5 bold predictions for 2020. Because it's an election year, so
Right.
Prediction number 1 was Donald Trump's going to win the presidency again, obviously.
Yeah, dude, nobody can run against him. Like the people that,
and that was the reasoning, is like the only person that even has any traction would be Joe Biden, and he's a fucking pervert.
Yeah, man, he is, and it's you know what, he's you know what, I can understand if he was not self-aware, but this dude is he's a self-aware perv.
And he doesn't give a fuck.
He doesn't care, man.
He's gonna suck your fucking earlobe while you're trying to get away from him.
This dude's weird. He's like your creepy
Marshall. You want me to
uncle.
play this on the air,
Let
man?
me grope you, sir.
Yeah.
Answer me in the comment section if you want me to play this on the air. I will.
So prediction number 2 was that Nancy Pelosi was going to be. Actually, no, it was the House. The House was going to be won by Republicans again, and the Republicans were going to control the majority in the House, the Senate, and the presidency for the first time in like
Ever?
I think is it ever?
I think it's ever.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Because
You
that's
understand
usually like because the
What's going to
parties
happen? You understand what's going to happen if that happens,
a lot of good.
dude? This would be incredible.
And you know
There'll be a lot of snowflakes. Upset.
the reason this is
Forever.
happening is because
they're
the
so
Democrats
fucking
that are in
unhinged.
there right now are our perfect slogan
Oh yeah, dude.
of why Republicans are going to do better.
All right, I just got this message from a viewer,
What's this viewer's name?
Josh. Hold on.
I said, bro. What's this viewer's name?
Oh shit.
We are suffering technical difficulties right now.
Yeah, give me a second.
One.
Yeah. While he sorts that out, I have to go drain the main vein.
Oh, all right.
This commercial break is brought to you by beer.
Beer.
Well, not everybody leave at once. Like, stagger the breaks, please, because we got a shit ton of viewers.
Go, and I will.
you. I'm getting up for you.
Oh, are you? Okay, that's all you're getting up. So.
Unless you can miraculously somehow get past this without me getting up.
Jackson, you are absolutely right. The global climate stuff, burning in the Amazon in Australia. I don't really know how much that is the global climate, man. If you look at the location of these places, it's really, really hot. It's really dry. Well, except for the Amazon. I mean, it's a fucking rainforest. But like Australia, what does that have to do with anything? I mean, truthfully,
Australia's on fire, bro.
yeah, I know, but
Australia's burning to the ground, man. But I think that whole thing in Australia, I was reading somewhere that they were trying to pass this train, some kind of train that was supposed to go around Australia. I'm probably getting this wrong. Y'all can correct me. And it didn't pass, and I think a lot of people were pissed off about that. And it was weird because all these fires were started in the track of where that train would have been, and now it's just gotten out of control.
right.
But you don't hear about it. I mean, if it wasn't for Facebook, I wouldn't even know a damn thing about it, you know?
Yeah.
But I did hear that in Australia.
Do we have a panel? Oh, USSR. Now you better get your stank asses up out of here before I cause a nuclear holocaust up in here, fool. That's right, boy. You better get on out of here. Just come back. Jay, bring your simple behind
It had the head of Trump on there, dude.
What was that from? Was that from
Don't be a menace to
yeah.
South Central while drinking your juice in the hood. Yeah,
Love that show.
yeah, that's freaking awesome. I freaking love that show. You're absolutely right.
But there's a lot of anti-American things that are being said right now in Australia,
and in America too. Like,
oh, America, man, it's. I don't think you're either American or you're not. And I think that it's been just so long that people just don't identify as being American. They identify as everything else.
you remember back in the 20s, the 30s. I mean, I know you don't remember, but like reading and seeing video clips and you can pretty much call it propaganda because that's exactly what it was. But in the 20s, 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s, it was amazing. You were one of the cool kids for being American and being proud of American. And now it's the complete opposite. You're one of the cool kids for being anti-America, anti-Constitution, anti-religion. Like, what the fuck happened, dude?
World War I and World War II happened. Okay. That happened. So you have a lot of people that are just so pro-America. And then it just seemed like the baby boomers happened and they had kids and their kids just, I don't know what happened to their kids. I think they took everything that their parents did for granted.
By the way, the crying baby in the background is my goddaughter, Rob's daughter, and she's fussy. So I'm not apologizing for that.
Fussy. She wants to be held. Anytime she sees a grown up, she's like,
You are the chosen one. Hold me. Yeah. She's so freaking awesome.
All right. Okay. So where were we?
We were talking about
why it's cool nowadays to
yeah.
be anti-American, anti-religious.
And I was just
good question.
And I was saying that, you know, after World War I, World War II, you have all these guys coming back home. You have a lot of pro-America, of pro-America propaganda, and everybody's just having an awesome time. The baby boomers came and then they had kids, and it just seems like
it's gotten worse.
Everything that their parents had done has just been taken for granted.
Oh yeah,
you know, and then you have, well, one of the main things is media. You know, somebody trying to get their point across, and they get butthurt that their point's not getting across, or they're not getting the reception they want. So what do? They get pissed off and start saying a bunch of stuff, and it makes everybody pissed off. I mean, people,
social media is definitely the main
there's more voices out there. Yeah. I will say this, and I'll fucking say it proudly: drunk, sober, high, stoned, fucking heroin needle in my arm, and this is just how I truly feel. If you really hate this country so fucking much,
Leave.
and you don't like our rules, and you don't like our constitution, there are like over 240 different countries out there. Take your fucking
Get the
pick.
fuck out of here.
You need help packing?
Go
I
to
mean,
Venezuela. If you want to be socialist, go the
Go to-
fuck there.
I always thought though, if this country was so horrible, why are people in the masses trying to get in? If this was so hard, you don't see masses going to fucking Iran.
right.
You don't
Because
see
they don't
masses.
want Americans there.
Anywhere else. Anywhere else.
Yeah, yeah. So there, one of the things you mentioned was, how baby boomers had kids, and then everything kind of fell to the wayside. And I saw a meme, and this is a while back that I saw this, and I kind of never forgot it. It's hard times create strong men create
Hard times.
nice times,
Oh yeah.
and nice times create weak men, and that's the cycle. And weak men create hard times. So that's the cycle of how things go, man. Like hard times make you strong, and then people get complacent and make hard times again.
What I'm hearing is we're due for some hard times.
Oh yeah, it's coming. The Great Depression happened 100 years ago, 110 years ago almost now. Oh yeah, so I am predicting it. The Great Depression is going to happen again, and it's going to be even greater depression, and there's going to be a lot of fucking hurt.
It can happen
in the world market.
It can happen. Everybody that's so used to waking up in the morning and going down to the coffee shop and
Yep.
getting things that they can't afford.
All right, Amber. I'm gonna
Ain't
have
gonna
to.
be no more, man.
Can you explain this a little bit more, Amber?
No more Monster and cigarettes.
She
That's
said
it.
this: if you don't like something the government does, First Amendment kicks in to petition the government and change things. Are you talking? Oh, you're talking about freedom of speech. I mean, yeah, because you can literally say freedom of speech for fucking everything.
The right to protest, the right to petition.
Well,
You can
that's
do
if
that covers a lot of things.
if the wrong people don't get into the loopholes.
Right.
I heard a story about this guy who burnt was it an LGBT flag?
Yes, in Iowa. Thank you for bringing that up real quick. I'm sorry, I don't mean to interrupt. I'll let you finish.
That's hate speech.
It's
I
hate
want to give a
speech.
shout out. Me and Mick want to give a shout out to Bigfoot for Breakfast. Sarah and Sam, love the podcast.
Absolutely.
If you're in the mysterious and weird, just macabre shit, check out their show. They're on iTunes, Spotify, everywhere you can find us, you can find them. It's called Bigfoot for Breakfast. Continue. You brought up Iowa, and there you go.
So anyway, this guy burned a gay pride flag, right?
Yeah.
And now he's serving 15, 16 years, or I don't know if he's been prosecuted maybe, but he has to go to court now. I don't know, but that makes no sense to me. Like that's even possible. I mean, they're calling that hate speech. Okay, well then how come burning an American flag ain't hate speech? You're basically saying I hate all
Actually,
Americans.
Hold on.
What, is it still arson if you burn your own fucking house down?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Even if
Yes.
you don't claim on your insurance, like if I just want to burn my house down.
Yes.
then no.
Yeah.
It's still, if
Yeah.
I'm only asking hypothetically
You
because
don't want to burn your own house down.
fuck this
And
house.
Amber, yes, I know the First
I hate it here.
First Amendment is more than freedom of speech.
Live in the
I know
woods.
that.
Right. Give me a log cabin.
This is another thing I disagree. And protecting this guy, okay, he burnt the LGBTQPRSVWXYZ alphabet people's
The
flag.
3 million genders.
Yeah. He burnt these people's flag that they identify with, a fucking rainbow, okay? And they construed it as hate speech. But all these, and I don't know how to classify myself politically, but now you have all these conservatives and Republicans and libertarians saying, well, if you burn an American flag, isn't that illegal? Blah, 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 blah. Yes, but in the Constitution, it also states that the American flag will not be put on any type of clothing or worn as well. So all the American flag hats, American flag shirts, underwear, boxers, everybody fucking wears patches, everything that everybody wears is also against the Constitution as well. I just want to throw that out there.
But I don't see giving somebody 15 years for burning a flag. And that goes on, and that goes to
I would have made the dude buy whoever's flag it was. I'd have been like, okay, you got to pay this dude $100 and buy him a new flag.
I mean, here's what I'm saying. If this dude grabbed somebody else's property, burned it, okay, yeah, that's theft,
Right.
and then you can like get an arson charge or something.
Vandalism.
Vandalism,
Right.
right? Okay, but you know what? they ain't throwing Antifa in prison for 15 years for doing half the shit that
Dude,
they're
if they
doing.
ever send Antifa to fight a fucking war for us, we're fucked.
So and I'm saying it makes no sense. And this is what's going on. What she was saying about the First Amendment. Yeah, the First Amendment and all of our amendments and how everything goes is great, unless you're that one guy who did something and now this loophole gets you. That's why freedom of speech is so important.
Well, now you got hate speech that literally, okay,
Wait, before we get into that, any speech can be hate speech.
exactly. That's what I was going to
Any
say.
speech.
Me and Rob disagree on, I don't know, the fucking color of a car.
And I'm an advocate for hate speech. I say let hate speech reign, because here's the thing. People are going to say things that are going to make me mad and that it's going to be hateful to me. I might say something in the same way. Therefore, if we're starting to make laws against certain types of way we talk, there's going to be the jails are going to be full of not murderers,
Yeah,
but people who said the wrong thing.
That's okay. Thank you. The guy that freaking got caught skating down 210 Bridge in Lake Charles, Louisiana.
That guy's awesome.
They went and freaking arrested this dude for skateboarding down a bridge. Skateboarding. Like, come on.
Well,
man.
wait. Before that happened, I think it was like a week or two before that, somebody put up an old video from like the 70s
Right.
of a guy doing the same thing. And I knew right then, I was like, this is on social media. Somebody's going to try to replicate it. And it did. So like the 2 weeks after that, I think it was, I see this story, you know, but once again, throwing him in prison for long periods of time for something like that. It's basically, you're saying, I don't think it should have got the coverage it did, because now you're going to have a whole bunch of people that are pissed off about it. And guess what? You're going to have 30 guys with skateboards going down 210.
Yeah, and it's just, I get it. Like, dude broke the law, but I think he's facing like 10 years.
Yeah, it's something ridiculous.
like
16 years.
16
It's
years.
something
Okay.
But
stupid.
he was also the reason why he was. I'm reading this right as we speak. By the way, he was a habitual offender. He had 2 felonies already on his record, and they kind of just they charged him with a hate crime and arson, felony arson.
A hate crime.
He's talking about the burning the LGBTQ
okay.
XYZ PRUV.
Yeah. Oh,
people's
so
flag.
we were all talking about something different. My bad. I was reading while you were talking.
Well, we were talking about the dude that the state police went after for skateboarding.
He can get up
Yeah.
to 15. He can get up
50.
to 15.
For
For fucking skateboarding, like,
Hey, he got arrested for obstruction of commerce.
like we don't have, like, I-10 is not the fucking major highway for
Well, not only that,
sex trafficking. We're gonna worry about skateboarders.
Didn't fucking the state obstruct commerce for like 2 years because like fixing the bridge?
Oh, yeah,
They
trying
didn't
to
even do
fix it.
shit to it.
Yeah,
They
man.
didn't even fucking put
No,
lights on it.
it's okay.
If the government does it, it's okay.
It's okay for them to block the roads for 5 years and do jack shit, but
Yeah.
dude rides a skateboard down it.
I swear
man.
we're patriotic. We sound so fucking anarchist right now. All right, so get back to the LGBTQ
No.
flag.
I don't want to get it twisted. I am patriotic towards the Constitution and the people that I protect in this country.
That's right.
I do not give a fuck about the government.
That's right.
Everybody in government can suck a fat dick,
and I'm with you. I agree. I agree
except for Dan
100%.
Crenshaw.
Or eat a pussy.
Except for
That
this
motherfucker's
guy.
a badass.
You got to be politically correct, or eat a pussy, or whatever they do with non-binaries. What do they do? Like punch
They
buttons?
like grind and
I
fucking
don't-
rub shit on people. I don't know. Anyway,
I really-
Xerxes. We're
I don't think that this podcast has been going on for almost 3 months now, and I really don't think we have a lot of LGBTQ supporters. I don't think we have one fucking LGBTQ
I wonder
supporter.
why.
Then again,
why do you think
what
that is?
people do in their own time is none of my business.
Exactly, dude. You want to be gay? You want to suck cock, eat pussy?
Who are you when I'm not looking?
Like, do your own thing, man. I don't care. Like, I don't care until you start shoving it down my kids' throat and my throat. Like, do whatever you want. That's the beauty of
Oh, you mean
America.
like the trans dude that flashed all the kids in school and shit.
Oh man,
I'm gonna show you my crotch.
And that's the thing.
Let me read you
You're
a story.
celebrating a sexuality. You're not celebrating. That's it. You're
You're not.
celebrating.
It's not your individuality. It's a fucking
I mean,
choice that
okay.
you're trying to.
Why?
I'm
then-
being trendy.
Yeah, it's a, like I said, and I said this before. It's a fad, man. This
It
is
really
a fad, and it's gonna pass. And when it does, there's gonna be a lot of people looking stupid.
Yeah. Oh my god, look at this photo album of me looking like a fucking retard.
Yeah. What was I thinking? Why did I have green and purple hair? Oh my god.
Look at this photograph.
And I'm not
Why
saying,
was I dressed like a man?
and I'm not saying
Because you started singing Nickelback, like literally all of our viewers left.
I mean,
Hey, don't say nothing. I
I
like
did better than
Nickelback,
Chad,
damn it.
though.
I love Nickelback.
Yeah. I don't.
But,
I didn't. They're Canadian.
but don't get my words twisted though. When I say it's a fad, I'm not saying
He's saying fad, not the other word.
yeah, I'm not
Fad?
saying no, I'm not saying that a sexuality is a fad. I'm just saying the way it's going about.
The trend.
The
right.
trend.
The being cool.
It's
Yeah.
trendy to go to schools and dress like a drag queen.
Do we think that this is just going to be like everyone's going to wake up and be like, man, this is retarded? We should be back to where we used to be like in the 50s and 60s. Fuck no, dude. This ain't going to happen. Like, it's just going to get worse until it blows
Yeah.
the fuck up. And then all you have left are the people who can fight.
and that's the thing that I think about all the time. It's like, oh, we think we have it so bad now, but it's It always
I
gets
just,
worse.
I just hope it happens while I'm still able to fight.
yeah.
You know, because if I'm like 70, I'm still going to be a good ass shot. But I'm not going to be able to run.
Sonny.
You're just not gonna be able to run away.
I'm not gonna be able to run and fucking, I'm not gonna be able to run up on you and kick you in the face. And be
That's
like,
that's the
"Oh,
point where
bitch."
you're at the point where you're just going to take out as many people as you can with you.
No, I'm just gonna have a really nice arsenal of automatic weapons that are not legal, so that whenever people are coming at me, I can be like, oh, fuck it, these are all remote controlled. Fuck all you guys.
Mick, Amber said I might step down as president of the Mick fan club for that Nickelback comment.
What?
Ooh.
I like Nickelback.
Mr.
I think Nickelback gets
Mr.
gets
Jackson
gets a
said
bum rap, man.
they need to
Yeah,
disband.
yeah.
Oh, this is going to get you guys going. They need to disband all the monopolies, behind closed doors partnerships, and all the little money schemes these politicians have set. Kick out all questionable politicians, keep ones doing good, and what our people want.
Okay, well then
That's never going to fucking happen.
how do you distinguish between who's doing what?
You can't. Because I mean, it's all getting done on fucking backhanded shit. Like it's all backroom
No.
politics. Like you can't just. I don't know. That's all the shit that Ilhan Omar and fucking. these
I
other
really-
idiots have done.
Who voted for these people? Like, dude.
People that are
Well,
really-
dude, it's like our governor,
retarded.
like Bill Edwards.
Yeah, where the hell are all these
Look,
people?
check this out. The only reason he's still our governor is because Baton Rouge and New Orleans voted.
Yeah,
It doesn't matter because you don't have, you don't have the electoral college in those votes. So basically, two cities,
Yeah.
determine who our governor
Democratic
was,
control.
Yeah, and that's really sad.
and that dude's a piece of shit.
Yeah, it sucks.
I really don't understand how. I mean, like the presidential election in 2016, like they were like, "Oh, we won the popular vote." Yeah, dude, because there's fucking 10 million people in LA, and there's not even 10 million people in the entire state of Louisiana. Like, come on.
Well, yeah, well, you got New York, you got San Francisco, then
LA.
LA. So yeah, you're gonna have all these places where it's concentrated
Chicago.
dumbassery.
Right.
Well,
Chicago.
and it's democratically controlled, and it's just like these are shithole fucking places to be. Why the fuck would anybody want to be there and be like, oh, I'm glad I'm here. This is my home.
Dude, California, like place like Los Angeles, is literally shithole. There's literally shit everywhere
Yeah.
because of all the
Like,
homeless people.
Traffic fucking sucks all
So-
the time. Like it doesn't matter what time you go on the road. If you get on the road in California and LA,
What's
you ain't
today?
going nowhere.
Right.
What's today's actual topic, Mick?
Oh, we're talking about some aliens.
Oh yeah.
We're gonna talk about aliens. We're getting away from the political stuff. Like that's how we're from now on when we do our lives. We're gonna start off with current
Some
events.
banter and
Yeah,
shit.
we can do
Yeah,
that.
everybody getting loose, having a few drinks, shooting the shit with our fans and the people watching at home.
What the fuck was I gonna say?
But and then we'll take a break, and then when we come back, we'll get into
Talk
the
about
topic at
aliens.
hand. And today we're talking about aliens.
Xenu.
And it's not going to be like, oh my God, Roswell. No, we're going to get into an in-depth conversation.
Half my shit's about Roswell.
Okay, some of us are going to get into an in-depth conversation and opinions about real aliens, not fucking.
And probes. Aliens and probes.
Well,
Yeah.
what you do in your own time is your thing. You want to take a break?
Yeah, let's take a break. We'll start and talk about ET.
Rob, you gonna keep everybody entertained?
I'm probably going to pull up some Clef notes and stuff for the actual podcast. So I'm not going to do a lot of talking to folks because I'm going to be doing some last minute quick research just to get my references down.
Awesome.
So we will be
I
back
can
in
put on
5
some
minutes.
elevator music.
I just talk out my
Yeah,
ass.
we're put on some music, bro. Put on some elevator music,
Elevated music.
and we shall return in 5 minutes to get on with the topic at hand.
Here we go.
Turn it up a little bit. Oh, you don't have to.
Oh, thank you. Oh, shit. Huh. Yes, Jackson. The third dude, Rob, he isn't on. Blam.
Yeah, Jackson. Semper Fi Rob is a Marine. How long did you serve?
9 years.
9 years. Yeah. 9 years. I'm sitting next to his actual. What do you call these? Dress blues.
Those are my dress blue alphas.
Yeah, there you go.
Fuck. All right, this is not what I was looking for.
Oh man, this you guys stick around, please. This alien episode that we're fixing to get started in, once we get back from our little 5-minute break, Mick's still got a couple minutes. It's gonna be a really good episode. The way that we're gonna tackle this is gonna actually kind of shock you guys.
Shock and awe.
So yeah, that's from now on. That's actually how we're gonna structure our shows. We're gonna go live, and the first, I don't know, in between 30 to 45 minutes, it's gonna be banter, current events, stuff that keeps you up to date with current affairs going on. And then we'll take a break, like a 5-minute break, grab more beer, and then we're gonna get into the actual episode topic for that week. So if you guys want the full QE, guys, tune in to the Facebook Live, and then once we take our break and you guys cut out, you can always go back and actually listen to the episode for that week on iTunes, Spotify, Castbox, Streaker, Stitcher, or Spreaker, not Streaker. That's funny. Stitcher, anywhere where you can really find your podcast. What's up, Josh, man? Yeah, we're when Mick and Rob get back, we're gonna bring into this week's episode on aliens, and it's not gonna be anything you've ever heard before. It's not gonna be, oh, Roswell conspiracy, blah 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 blah. It's definitely not how we're attacking alien. This was actually Mick's episode idea, and the way that he presented it and some of his opinions and thoughts is just, I was like, at first I was like, I don't want to do aliens, but the way Mick presented it, I was like, I want to fucking do aliens.
He wants to do aliens.
Yeah, he wants to do aliens with probes.
Might end
Alien
up with a baby
probe.
that has a brain like AOC.
Oh god, I didn't know, dude. I did not know AOC was only 28.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's a fucking idiot.
You can't equate being an idiot with age.
Well, no, she was an idiot before.
She could be 80 years old and still be just as dumb as she is because she's that close-minded and stupid. All right.
Socialism has never worked. It never will work. I don't understand why people don't understand that. Socialism is not the answer. I mean, I guess it is if you want to freeload and not fucking do anything for yourself. People don't realize, man, the government wants to control the masses, and once they control the masses, or wants to take care of the masses, and once they support you, they control you. Once they control you, you're fucked.
Yeah. The fuck? Shut up.
Well, okay then.
This is
Bumblebee
what I
turn
hate
up.
about the internet. Sometimes you can be trying to read something and then some shit will just pop up out of nowhere and be loud as fuck. It's like, man, I don't want to listen to you. Turn that shit off.
Yeah.
All right.
Bumblebee tuna.
So we got everybody here.
Everybody's here.
So,
Well, Laney B's not here.
well, I'm gonna stay quiet with that one.
We're gonna go through the real quick. We're gonna I'm gonna hit record for this new episode. We're gonna go through our introductions and stuff. So bear with us for the people that are viewing live. We are about to get into the episode. You ready?
Let's go.
All right, silence. Hello and welcome to another edition, the first edition of 2020 of the Question Everything Guys with your host Sean.
The Mick.
Simplify Rob.
What's up, ladies and gentlemen? Thanks for tuning in. What's today's episode on, Mick? It was your episode.
We're gonna talk about some aliens,
Like the illegal ones or the outer space ones?
outer space ones.
Oh my god.
Mhm.
I'm gonna let you take the lead on this one, dude. This is all you.
Well, aliens, all of us know, are scary. They're little. They're green or gray. Big eyes.
They could be pink or purple.
Some say they're reptilian.
Well, there's different classifications of what people call aliens. Like Martians are supposed to be the little gray men.
From Mars.
Yeah.
Yeah. But it all kind of started, it boiled down to the Roswell. It was the Roswell incident. No, this whole thing isn't going to be about Roswell. It was 1947, and there was a crash, and the military recovered said alien craft. And when they got there, there was not only craft, but bodies. And those are shipped to different places. There's even reports saying that there was just what I just said, like actual documentation. And then later on, it was wrote off as a weather balloon. I think it was a weather balloon that they wrote it off of, stuff like that. And then from there, you just see people seeing things in the sky. Then it goes to people being abducted and people coming forth saying that, I think this was a nightmare, but I think I was actually abducted by aliens.
Right.
And it's one of those things that, we think in a world that we live in that we have this vast amount of space. We're just a little pebble floating in our solar system.
I will say this, in my personal opinion, I'm not a for or against aliens existing person, but since that incident that you're talking about, Roswell, since that incident happened, if you look at the advancement of our technology from that time to now to 2020, it's insane.
Staggering.
We have
yeah,
never
definitely.
advanced that quick, that
No.
far, ever.
No. And I do agree with you that we have a lot of technology that we have now, possibly from other life from out of this world.
Reverse engineering, correct.
Mhm.
They were still using vacuum tubes as transistors back then. They didn't even have a clue what a transistor was, like an actual like a silicon solid state
Mhm.
transistor. They had no idea what it was.
Yeah, man, it's it's crazy. But what I've always wondered is, in people that think about this, are aliens friendly?
Well,
Are they not friendly?
uh,
Why they're
our
here?
government doesn't seem to think they're friendly because it was just signed into existence. The U.S. government and President Donald Trump signed into the Space Force.
Mhm. Space Force.
So here's my question. I did a little bit of research and I watched a lot of videos on YouTube last night. And I'm going to plug a show on Netflix here in a second. You watched it, right,
Mhm.
this morning,
Mhm.
today? It's called Unacknowledged. It's on Netflix. Netflix. Check it out. It's really eye-opening. But some of these videos, President Bill Clinton and President Obama went on the Jimmy Kimmel show, and President Clinton completely denied the existence of aliens. Well, President Obama went on, and he didn't deny, but he didn't acknowledge either. But he did say, "I'm telling you what I've been told that I have to tell you." Okay,
Right.
that's not weird in itself, right there.
Right.
That's crazy.
Yeah, I think he said something like, "This is what I was briefed to say." That was his words, I believe.
Yeah.
And
Men in Black.
right, and I just thinking about this. You have, like I said, vast space, right? You got
Space is infinite.
yeah,
man,
it's infinite and it's growing. It's constantly getting bigger. So you cannot tell me that there is not a planet out there somewhere with life that's
see,
way
and I
more advanced
disagree.
than me.
See, I disagree right there. I do believe that there is a form of life somewhere out there. Do I believe that it's intelligent life and little green or gray or black men, whatever you want to call it, that are coming to spy on our planet? No, I don't believe. I mean, people call us intelligent life, so maybe they're as advanced as we as humans as a species are. But I don't.
Well, if they're coming to our planet, they're way more advanced than we are.
Yeah.
They're way more advanced.
What do you think, Rob?
Well, like Mick said, just to even fathom the technology that's required, the power levels that are required to get from one solar system to another. I mean, you have to be able to travel more than half the speed of light, which we still can't do, despite all the technology advances we have. We still don't have a propulsion source that's going to get us to that speed, much less be able to slow us down. And we don't have any way to prolong our own life long enough to be able to make the full journey and back. And I mean, there's relativity. There's so many things, barriers in the way of making that kind of travel of those kind of distances possible, that anybody that can do it as a civilization is like eons ahead of us in terms of technology.
Yeah.
One of our viewers on Facebook Live, and for our podcast listeners, we host a live version as well. We actually go in more in detail and talk about other things than the week's episode. But he asked, do we know who Bob Lazar is? Yes, we do know who Lazar is. Do you guys actually believe that Lazar is telling the truth, or he is pretty much just full of shit?
Man,
You know who he is, right? Right.
He was the guy that said he got abducted.
No, he was the guy that said that he actually was one of the
He was-
reverse
he
engineers
was working on it.
Oh,
at Area
And-
51.
And man, I tell you, listening to him, it's compelling, man. It's like I want to believe him so bad.
Do you want to believe him just because you want there to be aliens, or because he
I mean, dude, I'm gonna tell you what. All right, you guys know that I'm relatively scientifically minded, and people around his age who came up with technology, he's probably a very, very smart guy, and he probably did work for some high level, company, like high level entities.
But according to the government,
But
man,
I can make up some crazy ass shit and
Right.
say whatever I want.
Right.
but he's not accredited from any school for anything remotely close to what he's claiming. And he's saying that the government is trying to discredit him. And if you watch the show Acknowledged,
Mhm.
that actually happens a lot. It's been happening a lot.
Yeah, it's anybody who comes up with any kind of
Proof.
proof
Yeah.
of the aliens that they're shunned, and that they're made to look like an idiot. So okay, so but it's not just the technology. Why I would want aliens to be real? It's the fact that there's other planets out there that we could go to. It would answer questions of, are we the only ones in this world? They could give us history lessons of what it was like before the Earth was even here. Just think of all the things that we could learn.
The reason why we're covering aliens, I told our Facebook Live viewers, the way you presented on how you wanted to do this, and we're going to get to this topic, that's where I really start to believe that, okay, science, religion, and mythology
Mhm.
actually start coming together. And
Yeah.
once you have three very varying topics that say, oh, science isn't real, religion isn't real, mythology isn't real, and they all start, having extremely close similarities,
Right.
there has to be a base of truth somewhere.
Yeah, there has to be.
Has to be, without a doubt.
I mean, and I'm taking the Bible and religion totally out of this episode. What I'm saying is,
Oh no, you're not, because you're absolutely not. You made a comment, and that's actually why I was 100% on board with doing this episode. You said something about, what if aliens or angels are fallen angels?
correct, and I'm getting to that one. But what I'm saying is, what if this is a what if these aliens that we're seeing now, what if they were the original creators of us?
Right, and that's the ancient astronaut theorists say that.
Yeah.
So I mean, and there's like cave drawings, and Ancient Aliens did a lot of episodes about this stuff, where cave drawings where people that existed thousands of years ago are drawing stuff that wasn't even being presented.
Well, it wasn't even that.
Well, like the
long
man
ago.
in the spacesuit.
Yeah, that was
Like
chiseled in.
Yeah, this in Mexico, in the Mayan territory.
Was it Mayans?
Yeah, it was the Mayans. Dude, that technology was nowhere even remotely close to existing.
Well, and it's okay, like the Egyptians. Let's look at the pyramids. Let's look at the what's the drawing a blank with the rocks, Stonehenge. All these places, and it has everything to do with alignments of stars and the sun. And when you start to think about it, it's like I don't think we give enough credit to older civilizations. I think older civilizations were way more technologically advanced than we give them credit for.
I wouldn't say technologically advanced, but they weren't as dumb as, just because they don't have computers, math, science, fucking horoscopes, everything that man has invented over the last 100 years. Do I believe that just because they didn't have those things, they were dumb? No,
I'm not saying they were dumb.
Yeah,
I'm not saying they were dumb. What I'm saying is, I think that they had a lot more going for them than rocks and chisels.
Oh yeah, definitely. I mean, if you look at the pyramids,
and I think
what is that, Rob? I'll know you know this. What is it? The Hanging Gardens of
I do know what you're talking about.
And then
it's
you
on
have
my tongue.
you have the aqueducts of Rome.
Mm-hmm.
Like, dude,
are those metal pipes they're finding in the
yes,
those, and they're like, they can't figure out what the pipes are made out of or what they were for, or something like that.
I mean, if you look at like Greek mythology, okay, the things that these gods, in quotes, wielded sound a lot like energy weapons,
right?
Like Zeus's thunderbolt, Thor's hammer.
Thor's not Greek.
I know, but I'm saying Greek mythology, okay. Norse mythology, all these different mythologies, they share a lot of similarities. Odin had a spear, basically it was like a spear or a staff that could shoot lightning from it. I mean, a lot of these gods from completely different civilizations had a lot of similar properties.
Right.
And I mean, how do we know that these mythologies weren't written based on
Some type of fact.
Based on an actual
something
events that
something
happened.
people saw,
Right.
and they all saw the same person, they just interpreted it a slightly different way.
Yeah.
You know,
But that's if that's if going off of what if aliens came here and we're the creation of aliens. Now, the other thing that I was thinking of is what if aliens are actually us from the future?
I will say this, and Rob, please elaborate on
so
this.
I do want to throw one thing in there
Mhm.
about, because you did mention that what if aliens, we were created, what if we were modified by aliens? That's
Mhm.
what you're getting at, right?
Right.
All right, so there has not been a discovered evolutionary link between Homo sapiens and our ancestors. Okay, in terms of like we were visibly we've visibly evolved.
So we're talking about evolution.
Right.
Like,
so the
yeah.
theory of evolution says that, you know, Homo sapiens had to have evolved from Homo erectus, but Homo erectus hasn't actually been found.
Right.
They don't have any physical evidence of a Homo erectus.
Hence the missing link.
Right.
that everybody's looking
we
for.
have freaking fossils of dinosaurs from 180 million years ago, but we don't have a body
Right.
or remains of any kind that demonstrates a evolutionary link between man as we know it today and man's ancestors. So to me, that says that who's to say the aliens didn't get here? Say these people who live in these trees, these things that live in these trees, have the capacity to do something more, and genetically modified those individuals, and
Into
their
human.
offspring.
So you're
Their
saying
offspring evolved well beyond that link.
so you're saying that
So we can't detect the link because
we might have been genetically altered from life that was already here.
with
I will,
alien DNA.
I'm going to
Okay.
interrupt. I'm going to
Yeah.
say this.
No,
The-
go ahead.
the theory that you just brought forth is a more realistic and more believable, to me, in my personal opinion, theory than the theory of evolution.
Right. I mean, and we would
Because you
be able-
have, like
we
you
would
said,
not be able to distinguish the link because it would be such a drastic change. We wouldn't say this is a visible link because evolution has a set time frame. Evolution is fact. It happens.
It
but
does. Yes.
in our instance, we can't show what happened between this and this because something drastic happened. And there's no telling what it is because it's all theory.
So in that theory, why do you think that an extraterrestrial life would come to this planet and do that?
Well, I mean, there's lots
What
of
do you
reasons.
think?
All right, so maybe they wanted resources and they wanted manpower to be able to mine those resources. There's maybe life is a somewhat rare occurrence in the universe. Hence, I mean, the Drake equation, the Fermi paradox. There's lots of different theories and ways that scientists and other theorists have proposed to try to explain the probability of life outside our solar system. And when it comes to, kind of losing my train of thought a little bit.
Well, going off of what you're saying, what comes up to my mind is, let's say that's true, that's what it is. They came here, they got resources.
Yeah.
And then that's already happened. They got the resources they needed.
Mhm.
And then they're already gone.
Right.
So everything that we have viewed over the time are finding things like I said, pyramid stuff like
Those
that.
are our gods now.
Yeah. And that's happened a long ago. They're already gone. They already got what they wanted from us. And we're just the product of a genetically altered
We're bastards.
thing, you know? That's sad.
It's sad. It's kind of daunting to think of it that way, but I don't know. Are either one of you familiar with the Drake equation?
No, go ahead.
no, not at
Okay,
all.
so the Drake equation was formulated by Frank Drake in 1961 in an attempt to find a systematic means to evaluate the numerous probabilities involved with the existence of alien life. It was a speculative equation, meaning it was, speculating that the rate of star formation in a galaxy, the fraction of stars and with planets, and the number per star that were habitable. and the fraction of those planets that develop life, and the fraction of that develop into intelligent life, and then the fraction that have detectable technological intelligent life, and finally the length of time for communications to possibly reach us. Now, naturally, those last four, variables are impossible to predict, but even still, with those variables put in place, Carl Sagan and Frank Drake came to the conclusion that just using the first set of parameters, you come to somewhere between 1,000 and 100 million civilizations that could be detectable in our galaxy alone.
Right.
Not the universe, our galaxy.
Our galaxy. And that's what I'm saying. There's too much out there. It's so vast to say that there isn't another intelligent life being more intelligent than we are.
So then the Fermi paradox brings forth another explanation as to, even though these statistical probabilities are so likely that there's life out there, the other thing is the Fermi paradox says that there are reasons why. The great filter is one of them, which I can go into that here in a second. Extraterrestrial life is rare or non-existent. No other intelligent species have arisen. Intelligent alien species lack advanced technology. The water world hypothesis. It's the nature of intelligent life to destroy itself before it can reach the level that it needs to get to be able to proliferate to leave the solar systems. It's the nature of intelligent life to destroy others. So other civilizations destroy each other before they can proliferate. Periodic extinction by natural events. Intelligent civilizations are too far apart in space and time. Lack of resources to spread physically throughout the galaxy. A lack of desire to live on planets. It is cheaper to transfer information for exploration. Meaning transcendence, like the movie with Johnny Depp. It's cheaper and easier to transfer theoretical consciousness and intelligence via AI than it is to transfer a biological entity through space and time, because you can't put a lifespan on information.
Right.
So, I mean, the Fermi paradox has 23 different explanations for the reasons why life doesn't exist outside of our planet.
Well, you brought it up. Let me ask.
Go.
And there's a quick question, short answer. I'll start with you, Rob. Rob, if you could physically describe space, how would you describe it in as few words as possible? How do you personally view space?
Space is infinite in vastness, in dimensions, and time is just a construct.
Okay, what about you, Mick?
That would be infinite. That would be my word.
I was going to say as a blanket, and that's part of the theory of relativity. You take objects, you stretch out a blanket, you hold it tight, right? And then you take, say, a bowling ball representing the sun, you put it in the middle, and you take different sized marbles, right? And they make different indentions. You're not actually traveling through space, in an open world video game. Right. You're traveling and riding along the top of this blanket. That's how I would view space.
Okay.
And that's where the theory of relativity and energy propulsion, and that's where our biggest flaw is.
Let's expand that into 3 dimensions, though. Have you seen their purple mattress that's like a expanded foam? It's got like the webs inside of it.
Yes.
Okay, so if you take that same principle of gravity, and let's say you take a basketball and you were to attach it to attach its density, or attach its mass to where it would be inside this mattress. Okay, and then shrink it down. Mind you, while you're shrinking it, it's still attached to every part that it was touching before. What's going to happen to that mattress as the ball shrinks? It's going to be pulled in, right?
Right.
So it's going to do the same thing that you would do with the bowling ball sitting on the fabric, and everything's going to be pulled towards it. That's what happens in this fabric of space-time. You have, as the object is shrinking, you're stretching the space-time relative to the gravity or the mass of the object that it is attracted to. So you have a very, very massive object that's very dense and takes up a small amount of space, has intense gravity. Huge, huge objects that don't have any mass, that don't have much mass, take up a lot of space, but have little gravity.
Mhm.
So
And
that's why I say infinite in vastness and dimension, because we don't have any way to really define dimensions.
can I plug my other show? Do you guys mind?
Yeah.
No.
And me and Simplify Rob actually have another show called Altered Thought, where we're thinking outside of the box in a lot of scientific and conspiracy subjects. There's not going to be any politics on this show. And we're going to get into what he was literally just talking about the different objects in space. And one of the topics that I was researching for aliens is black holes. And black holes can be really small as far as size.
Microscopic.
Right. But they are so dense that the gravity is just infinite.
It's infinite.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So do you think there's getting on that with the aliens,
Mhm.
getting back to the alien topic, do you think that maybe aliens have a technology where they're using black holes as a means of transportation?
Like a wormhole.
The Einstein,
Sort of,
the Einstein
sort of.
Rosen bridge.
Well,
Yeah.
then that would be some technology because you're trying to get out of
And light cannot even escape black
right.
holes.
You're trying to
But-
get out of something that light can't get out of.
Right.
So that technology has to be something else. But getting back on the aliens, we talked about aliens. The reason for aliens is come here and us. We're the product of aliens.
Yeah.
The other thing would be us getting back to what is aliens is say us. What we're seeing is us from the future. What do y'all think about that?
In terms of
like
All right,
me
so-
from personally from the future, or
No, no, no.
our descendants,
Us.
or we are the descendants
We've
evolved.
we have discovered how to come back in time, and we're seeing us like Back to the Future, right?
all right.
Okay.
But that's us.
I have something to say to that. Okay. Relativity prohibits reverse time travel. You can travel to the future, but you cannot go back. Okay. The reason for that is when you approach the speed of light as mass, when you have mass, like you have mass, as you approach the speed of light, the amount of energy required to keep accelerating you to that final last bazillionth of a percent to get to the speed of light, you have to be converted to energy. And every mile per hour closer you get to the speed of light, your biological clock slows down to nearly nothing. So as you get, like, you could be doing 99.9% of the speed of light, and 10,000 years could go by, but you would not age 1 second. So in a sense, you're traveling to the future, right? So let's say you did 10 quadrillion revolutions around the planet at the speed of light, and 5,000 years passed on this planet while you were doing your revolutions, and you came back, you just traveled 5,000 years in the future, but
You didn't age,
you didn't age.
but everybody else
Right.
aged.
So you actually travel to the future, but you can't go backwards around the earth and go back. So that's relativity. Relativity prohibits backwards time travel. Now, earlier I stated that we have that my feeling of space is we have infinite dimensions, which equals every decision you've ever made in your life is branching into a parallel universe where that decision would have gone the other way. And that goes for every single reality that everybody has,
So
infinite numbers
so it would
of
be
universes.
so it would be easier to say, or it would be more
We were visited
by another dimension of
Yes.
ourselves.
Yeah.
And that was part of the research I dove into, was humans can only perceive
3 dimensions.
3 dimensions.
Yeah.
Correct. So literally right now there could be an alien right in front of the 3 of us, and we wouldn't even know it because our human minds cannot perceive a 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th,
Or
8th
even-
dimension.
Not even our vision can't perceive it.
Right.
Can't see it.
So maybe they're like the people that are saying that they are seeing these aliens or these flying vehicles, or they were kidnapped and probed. Maybe that's another dimension trying to break through.
Well, so I don't think it's quite that obscure. Okay, a wormhole, Einstein-Rosen bridge, a black hole. There are theories out there that say on the other side of every black hole, there is a white hole where matter is being spewed out into another universe. Okay?
Has to be.
So if I were to say, let's say we somehow managed to advance and survive and not kill ourselves in 10,000 years, and we figured out a way to utilize dark matter to hold open a black hole so that it wouldn't crush us and actually pass through it and go to the other side. That universe we went to could potentially be one of the parallel universes that we exist in, but it would be what we would perceive as the past and what they would perceive as us being the future.
I just think it'd be crazy, man, because like all the UFO sightings, all the UFO sightings is it could be another dimension.
Yeah.
And that these people paid for this ride to come check out their alternate world.
The likelihood of, it seems to me it's a lot more probable that we are being visited by parallel us's from other universes.
I guess I would have to agree on that too.
I mean, I don't know. It just seems, because if everything happened perfectly in terms of like everybody who's ever had an invention and an idea that was allowed to use it versus being thwarted by government and, oh, you're not allowed to do that. That's heresy. You know, that's against our religion. We can't pursue that kind of stuff because science is shunned. Here, go to jail and sit in jail until you rot and die because you have a brain. If everything were to go the right way, there's no telling where we'd be scientifically.
Right.
If you didn't, if guys like Nikola Tesla weren't exploited, if guys like I'm drawing a blank on a lot of really amazing minds in the past that were thwarted. Galileo's a huge one. But there's so many brilliant
Da
minds
Vinci.
that were silenced by civilization because of religion.
Well, and those are the guys that at their time, I mean, everybody thought they were nuts.
Yeah, and that's exactly what it is.
And it happens today.
Mhm.
You know, we think, oh man, this guy, he's crazy. He's doing crazy stuff. You know what? 1,000 years from now, everybody's gonna be looking back like, man, he was a.
But that's what I'm getting at.
Yeah.
Let's say all that stuff didn't happen, and every single possible innovation that could have occurred due to those minds actually occurred. Where do you think we would be as a civilization right now?
We could not be a civilization.
We could be.
We
could be the aliens we're looking at.
we could be, or we could have just blown up our own Earth because we
I'm sure that
didn't realize.
in the
I'm
real
sure
in
that's
the universe I have in my brain.
that's happened to us.
That's
somewhere.
happened in one of those, probably way more than one of those universes. We don't exist in probably half the universe.
Yeah, it's
infinite is infinite for a reason.
But okay,
Let's go on to the new topic, or the next topic about aliens. Then, and Mick, you better take this one up because
go ahead, man. Go ahead.
No, the aliens are, well, aliens from the past are angels and fallen angels.
Fallen angels. And that's another one I was thinking of. Is
aliens are actually mentioned in the Bible, and they're talking about the Nephilim. And if you look in paintings from the 12th and 13th and 14th and 15th, 16th, 17th century, all these famous paintings, especially the Madonna and her child,
right?
There's a freaking UFO in the background,
right? And that would really explain aliens. But see, then it goes back to our creators. And if our creators are actually aliens, then that would make perfect sense.
Yeah.
It would make perfect sense. But
there's Danny's flying car, man. Thanks a lot, Danny.
but here's
Appreciate
another
the
thing.
crops, buddy.
Here's another thing. We say angels and fallen angels, but we get demons, right? What if the demons are the bad aliens?
Yep.
And the angels are the good aliens, just chilling out, throwing on some lights and giving us a light show, not doing nothing. So that would prove that there is actually aliens out there trying to harm us.
You mean like Thor, the Dark World?
Yeah, like there's actually a set of rogue aliens that don't like us.
Uh-huh.
You have to look at all of every civilization that is known to man on planet Earth. And there is some type of structure where they are trying to communicate with the sky. I mean, you look at
All of them.
the pyramids, you look at the Nazcalans in Peru, Mexico, they couldn't get to freaking Egypt and
the
I
very
mean,
first
the pyramids.
civilization is the Sumerians.
Yeah, the Sumerians. You have the
But what
Tower
about-
of Babel trying to reach the sky.
But what about before them, though? You see, everybody thinks, oh, we have a starting point, and this is where our technology started. And we went from engineering the wheel. What if we've engineered that wheel 1,000 times already because our civilization keeps getting crushed?
By what?
Who knows?
So the reason why I brought up Sumerians is and a lot of scholars base the starting point of civilization in terms of like mankind on whenever man was able to record history with text. And Sumerians had their hieroglyphs that predate Egyptian hieroglyphs, and they had their Bible, which is very similar in terms of the books and stories to the Bible we read today. But these guys predated what we consider ancient
Mhm.
by like 10,000 years.
Well, and that's what I'm saying is we all know that the saying goes, history repeats itself, correct?
Yeah.
What if history has repeated itself constantly for way longer?
There's not much archaeological evidence to support that. There's a lot of evidence that goes back to and it's pointing toward civilizations like the Mayans and the Sumerians, but nothing that predates those civilizations. I mean, I get what you're saying, but there's not any actual archaeological evidence to say that there was any advanced civilization that was lost prior to the Sumerians. Like, we haven't found any text, any stones, anything.
I apologize in advance for
Well,
the pouring of this coffee.
Well, and the reason I'm saying it is because if it's so long ago, those stones have been worn down.
Possibly.
Those
yeah.
villages are oil that we're pumping out the ground now.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, I'm talking.
No, I get what you're saying. And I mean, that's not saying it's not to go and say that that is not a possibility, because it definitely is. I'm just saying that without evidence, it's hard for me to believe it. Now, I'm saying that I'm not saying that because I don't have evidence that there's infinite universes. I'm not saying that I believe that also. It's just a possible theory.
Well, I think the evidence is almost overwhelming to say that we are being visited by something.
At least have been in the past.
Something. And it might not be the little green or gray men. Don't know. But it just seems like the evidence for being visited by something not of this world is almost overwhelming. I do think our government knows something about it. They don't want to tell us about it. But then that gets me thinking, yeah, our government, whatever. All these other, like, I think Russia knows something about it too. But it just, the evidence is there. It's just anybody that gets close to the truth, something happens.
They get suicided.
They get suicided, man.
So Epstein was an
He
alien.
knew about aliens, bro. That's what it was.
Yeah. No, the aliens paid Clinton to suicide him.
Epstein was a Caucasian.
But as of aliens being angels, I mean,
I do like that theory. It's cool.
And that theory goes along with a lot of what we started out talking about, is because anything that we can't explain, anything that happens to us that's just that doesn't make sense to us, is it's outer worldly, it's godly.
Yeah, it's biblical.
You know,
Yeah.
Write it down, make it law, and write a book about it. And that could very well be what happened. Don't know.
That would explain the similarity in religion.
It could.
Yeah, there's a lot of similarities in many different religions throughout the world. One of our
Yet they all claim to be the truth.
yeah. One of
Well,
our
of course, they're all the truth.
One of
Allah
our
was-
viewers on live actually asked a question, and I think we should tackle this question.
Okay.
When traveling across the globe wasn't done, how do all the civilizations, oceans apart, have similar stories of discs, aliens, flying things, when there wasn't even means of, long transportation yet? Pretty much is
exactly
what
what I was talking
Well,
about.
that would be what we considered to be angels, and like what we're talking about right now. This part of it, that's it.
Yeah.
That's the angels.
Yeah, what
You
the Nordic people called Thor and Odin, and what the Romans called what did the Romans call their Zeus? They called him Apollo.
Was it Apollo?
I think it was Apollo. I can't remember, but there was Zeus. Romans had their Zeus. I mean,
Because I mean, accounts of UFOs goes way back. Even Christopher Columbus saw lights crossing.
Right.
So it's something that every civilization, and that's what you're saying. Every civilization has their UFOs.
Yep.
You know, but to say that if this is aliens, I don't know if we should be fearful of
it
it,
was Jupiter.
because here's the
right.
thing: if aliens really wanted to kill us or didn't want us here, we'd be gone.
Oh yeah, no doubt.
So it isn't that. So it's why are we still around, man?
Oh, dude, another thing that was crazy, man, about like Greek and Roman mythology is demigods.
Like the demigods could be like those
Demigods are
like,
the offspring of humans and gods.
well, isn't the book of Enoch in the Bible that was taken out of the Bible is all about that?
Yeah.
It's about angels coming down and getting with humans and making offspring.
And
That's not all it was about, but-
Hercules was a demigod that was the offspring of Zeus, and I can't remember the name of the earthly woman that he impregnated, but he was Zeus's son on Earth and had godlike strength. I mean, shit, there's freaking kids' cartoons about it. I mean, it's all over the place. And like, those kind of stories you can't just be made up. And the fact that those types of stories, again, have duplications in numerous religions.
Right.
It's just, to me, it's too much of a coincidence to not be real, but with a realistic explanation.
Yeah.
Well, what about all the stuff that's supposedly buried beneath the ice in Antarctica? Let's touch on that a little bit. That's alien related. So,
that would go back to what I was saying, that this is something that's way older than time has been recorded.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, Antarctica hasn't always been Antarctica.
Right. So
the Pangea thing.
Right.
Okay.
I mean, it's well known that the Earth.
Yeah,
plates
that
move
you can
around.
prove that.
Yeah.
You can prove that. So yeah, this whole world was just one landmass at one time.
I mean,
And tectonic plates and shiftment has made it to what we know now, and it's still moving.
It's still drifting, correct?
You know, in another million years,
dude,
our planet's going to look totally different than what we know about how it is now.
can you imagine how much oil is in Antarctica?
It's probably ridiculous.
I think Antarctica needs some freedom.
You got to be careful, dude. You're literally about to make a liberal's head fucking explode.
But here's the
We
thing.
need to give Antarctica
Dude,
some freedom, bro.
This is what I was this is what I was saying. Me and Sean were talking about this, okay? Like fossil fuels, right?
Yeah.
Okay, we can only dig down so far. Right?
48,000 feet.
So what if once our technology gets to the point we can drill down further, what if there's another fossil fuel down there that's not oil? But
he
that's
said, what was it?
unobtainium, man. What if there's some unobtainium down there that's like super oil?
Wasn't that from the movie The Core? It
No,
was an alloy he made called unobtainium.
it might have been. I thought I just made it up myself.
No,
but
it was an alloy he made that was called unobtainium, and it created electricity from pressure.
what if
The farther down you got, the more pressure it had, the stronger it got, and it actually created electricity through heat.
Well, what if we just can have that, but we can't drill down far enough? We need to start fracking the shit out of stuff.
Oh yeah, because that's the fucking answer.
That's the answer.
Let's fucking blow the crust off this bitch. Let's make a new crust.
Not everywhere,
Hey.
just a small percentage of the crust.
Dude, y'all just freaking awoke Greta Thunberg from Sweden. y'all need to chill out. She's gonna come out.
Come to my house, Greta.
Climate change. I'm 16. I shouldn't have to worry about these
Ah,
fucking problems.
man.
Bitch, nobody's asking you. Shut up. Go sit back down.
Dude, aliens ain't gonna let us die from climate change. They'll come down and do something.
Yeah, they spent like 5 minutes creating us in the lab.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we're
this is
gonna be
actually
fine.
They give no fucks.
on Altered Thought on Sean and Rob's separate podcast. We're gonna get into how'd you explain it? The altered dimension theory, the dimension theory, where we were sitting here from a different dimension to thrive. Right? That's what you were talking about.
Just a minute ago, yeah.
No. I'm talking about conversations we've had, and the simulation theory as well.
Yeah. I haven't had the altered dimension theory with you yet myself, but that may have been another Rob you were talking to from another dimension.
Maybe
that
yeah.
Rob.
Or maybe the Rob from that dimension just told me, whispered in my ear, and it popped up as an idea or a
And
thought.
it came to you in a dream.
Yeah.
So personally, well, before we get to that, so we went. Let's break it down. We went through aliens being our creators. That's what aliens are. We went through aliens being angels or fallen angels. Aliens being ourselves from the future, which we decided that it would be more probable that it would be us from an alternate dimension.
What if aliens are glitches in the Matrix?
Oh, we're fucking getting on the Matrix right now, bro.
I mean, think of it, dude. A computer program. What happens when
So-
a computer program glitches?
here's the
Hold on,
shit on the
I gotta
screen,
stop.
but
I gotta
it's
stop.
not
Just
supposed
because
to
of
be
what it
there.
is. Just because of what it is. Stand up. Stand up. They want to know what your fucking shirt says. She said, "Does it say God, guns, and glory?" What does it say?
God, guns, and Trump.
What? Say that again.
Yes.
God, guns, and Trump.
There you go, Amber. That's gonna fucking piss her off.
Yeah, put that on the whatever. What is it? What are we on now?
Put that in
The
your pipe and smoke it.
Podcast. Anyway, back to aliens.
So, and that's going to be on the altered thought broadcast too. But
but what if? Okay, your theory on that one.
it's not my theory. It's just a theory.
A theory on that. I mean, so basically, we're saying aliens are the paperclip that used to come down on Windows that says, "Can I help you?"
It could be.
No, I mean that's kind of a fucked up program. Like, why would Windows do that?
That's why they have the paperclip.
So there are lots of programs out there that don't do what they're supposed to do. That have bugs and glitches.
Well,
and-
everyone does.
No, the
If
thing
that's
is,
the
Windows.
case, I'm the glitch.
Windows decided to put in a program that whenever it sees one of those, it goes blue and turns blue, the blue screen of death,
That's
to
yeah.
keep you from seeing the glitches.
You can't see the glitches
Yeah.
because the glitches cannot
But
be
for
perceived.
some
to be
reason,
there.
the simulation we're living in won't do that. We just see those as deja vu or a UFO or an alien while we're trying to sleep. Get the fuck out of my house. I can't move because no one's controlling me. My alien is controlling me as asleep.
Well, then what do you think about abduction? Why is that whole thing there? I mean, if these beings are coming from bazillion miles away from other galaxies,
Maybe they want to see how big your schlong is. Who knows, dude?
Well, they could see Mick from space. Mick is the Great Wall of Mick.
oh, here we go.
He tucks it in his sock when he's not using it.
Oh, I'm so glad Brandon's not watching this fucking episode. Oh my goodness.
Mick calls socks head warmers.
it's oh man. So what are we talking about?
Head warmers for Mick.
Aliens.
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 Oh
Alien.
man.
Mick wants to talk about this so much. Fuck, he might be an alien.
He was
Well,
the one,
that's
he was
another
the god
thing,
among
though.
men.
We could certain ones of us could have alien DNA. We could be products. Well, then that would what we were talking about. We would all
So
be
that
products.
that kind of explains why there have been so many above average and not, I wouldn't say so many. Why they're so rare. The above average and just extremely brilliant minds in the past that have pioneered the way for technology. And you know, so the whole demigod thing, when you breed a dog,
Mhm.
okay, and you find a trait in that dog that you like, and you're a dog breeder, you're going to keep that dog and be like, I like this one. And then you're going to try to breed that one and make more of that one. And then you're going to be like, oh, well, I really like this one. And then you're going to breed that one. So that's called selective breeding. We're doing genetic modification on a generation scale.
But we do that. We do that as people.
Right. But if you can do that without having to go through generation of generation to make your thing you like,
Mhm.
and say, I'm going to go in here and I'm going to take this gene and this gene, and I'm going to make this thing be able to grow its limbs back because I don't want it to lose any limbs because I want it to be pretty all the time, and put this gene in here, and now I just created Wolverine.
Yeah, because it could backfire.
So you're basically saying
that could
Wolverine is an
backfire,
alien
though.
now.
I'm saying Wolverine is the baddest fucking X-Man alive.
Yeah, he is.
No,
but it could
no, no.
backfire though.
That's your
That
opinions.
Wolverine.
No, fuck y'all.
That Wolverine
Dude, he
could end
cannot
the
get
world.
He can't get drunk.
Neither
Awesome.
neither can Deadpool. And Gambit is the shit because he's from
Deadpool is
Louisiana.
from his loins.
Hold on. I just want to say this.
Gambit is the shit. Fuck y'all.
Deadpool's awesome, and he's my favorite. So y'all talk about him like that.
But Deadpool
'Cause he's
wouldn't
got
be
feelings.
Deadpool without Wolverine.
That's not true. They both came from Weapon X. So false.
What the fuck are you talking about?
Talking about aliens, motherfuckers.
Where do you think Weapon X came from? Logan's DNA.
No.
You know what? On an alternate dimension Earth, X-Men are fucking real.
X-Men are real. Right now. All right, I gotta take this again.
We're gonna take a break.
Yeah.
Let's
Break
hold on. Let's end this.
Okay, we're done.
Well, with this one, we'll stay live. Keep bullshitting.
All right, go.
So we we thank you guys for tuning in to this. Fuck. Let me start over. We thank you guys for tuning into this episode. It's been really fun sitting there talking about aliens with you guys. So from all of us at the QE guys, this is your host Sean.
The Mick.
Simplify Rob. Sweet.
That was fun.
That was good.
We are going to take a quick interlude, bathroom break.
All right, I'm gonna put some music on for everybody who's listening still. Oops. Oh, goodness gracious. My bladder's gonna explode.
Yeah, I feel like my bladder's fixing to explode as well.
I'm gonna put some Lindsey Sterling
I have
on.
yet to pee.
We shall return. Please stay viewers, because when we get back, we're going to actually break into outside of the podcast, QE guys, where it's really truthfully us.
Some Lindsey Sterling for y'all fools. No more metal tonight.
Oh, there we go. We're getting you famous, huh? Ugh. Hey, everybody. Say hey. Say hey. Hey. What? For those of you that do not know, this is Rob's youngest. This is Bailey, my goddaughter. And there's Shelby peeping in the door. What you doing? What? I know. Baby. Baby.
What?
I know. You want to talk to everybody? You want to be famous? You want to be famous? Say hello. La 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 la. La 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 la. Oh, thank you guys. Well, we're coming back from the break. We're going to continue this conversation. We just stopped the recording for the actual podcast for iTunes and Spotify.
Did you know about Rain Girl was my favorite song?
You love it?
Rain Girl is my favorite song.
What is it?
By Rain Girl.
Oh, this? Lindsey Sterling? You like this?
I like the one of whenever
The voice? You want to take her? You take Sissy? That's my little pipsqueak. Not my daughter, my goddaughter. It's Rob's little baby girl for the viewers. Comment who's still watching. Now we can answer all questions. Drop a comment who's still watching. Oh man, this has been such a really good episode. For everybody still watching, I want to say everybody still watching is friends of mine. In a moment, we're gonna click over from the QE guys to my personal live. Hop on there and we'll have conversations. We're gonna be talking about the QE guys and also my my other podcast, Altered Thought. Altered Thought is more of a scientific and like more research podcast. It's going to be a lot less opinionated. It's going to be less less opinions and more actual fact, more science. If you guys haven't checked out Altered Thought yet, please do me a huge favor. Go like the Facebook page. Just look up Altered Thought. Go like the page, and because of the holidays, I've only released 3 episodes, actually 2.5. And from all the feedback I get, everybody says they're really good and very informative. So if you like science and stuff like that, and science, conspiracy, history, go check out those episodes for Altered Thought.